Hello everyone, it's Janet here with another design team project for the Piece by Piece, and Beverly's store can be found at www.thepiecebypiece.com, and I will put the links to her Facebook page and to all the pages down below. And also just check out her store. I will put the links to all the products that I use on my blog, and I will put the link to that down below. So this is a roll for my sister-in-law. It's going to be her 50th birthday. And I was inspired by, a long time ago, I saw a magazine article in the Somerset magazine, and it had a roll done in there. And then also, quite a while back, Bona did a video, she's Live, Love, Scrap, on YouTube, and she did a video of a little muslin roll for her poodle. So that was what gave me the initial inspiration. And I was trying to figure out a little project that I could make for my sister-in-law. We're actually going to be celebrating her birthday in Ecuador, and I don't have much room for things in my suitcase because we have to pack light. So I wanted just to make a little project because 50th birthday is a big thing, and I wanted her to have a little something to open. So I thought this would be a great idea for it. So I made up this roll, and I started out with a strip of muslin, and I made two strips, and I made them both 50 inches long. But I didn't sew them together at first. I waited until I got the lace put down on the front and the back before I sewed them together. So I took strips like this, and then I just started layering Beverly's beautiful pieces of lace randomly, and it really worked out nice because there were some of her pieces that I just still really love, but I just had little teeny pieces of, but it worked perfectly because this is a really great thing for random little pieces. So I will show you how it turned out here. So I have it just wrapped with seam binding to keep the roll shape. So what I did is, when I did the first piece of muslin, I stitched a vintage measuring tape all the way across the top, and I stitched it at the top, but then I just glued it with this Fabri-Tac on the bottom. Now I did some stitching on this book, but you wouldn't have to. You could use this Fabri-Tac for everything if you wanted to, but I did want some stitching detail on it. But it isn't necessary. This stuff works great for this type of project, because I used it and the stitching. So I actually stitched in the seam binding here at the end with some lace. And I left this little piece of the measuring tape out here at the end because I wanted to dangle some charms from it. So then I have one of Beverly's beautiful rosette flowers here, and a flower from my stash, and one of Beverly's resin pieces with a picture of my sister-in-law when she was just first walking. So didn't have too many pictures of her when she was a baby, but I had a few. So, and then I just printed this out on my printer celebrating 50 years of Julie. And I Mod Podged all of the cardstock pieces that I used so that it would bend when I made the roll. And underneath here you can see this beautiful lace, and I will show you a lot of the laces that I used after I finish showing you the roll. Then I also just stuck on a little crocheted doily underneath, and that's a picture of Julie when she was a little older. Flower here, a little banner piece from Basic Gray, and you can see Beverly's beautiful laces underneath here. This is a green one and a yellow one. And another picture, and you can see the measuring tape going across the top, and a butterfly. And then here is some of this gorgeous trim. I just did it up and then left a little tab at the top so that it would show at the top, and this is just a charm that I had. You see more of the gorgeous lace, and the lace on this is just what gives it so much dimension, and it just really makes it beautiful, and it's just the perfect thing to show off Beverly's the piece by piece, because literally that's what I use, pieces of so many of her gorgeous laces. So this is when they got married, and this is some more of Beverly's trim, and beautiful Beverly's laces underneath here. So just taking a little trip all through the years of her life with little pictures, and all of these pictures I printed out on photo fabric, and I think I got this at my local office supply store. And it's just called Blumenthal Crafter's Images Photo Fabric. And the reason that I use that is because it also bends, which is what I wanted with this jelly roll. I didn't want the paper because I didn't want it to fold and bend. I wanted it to just be flexible and bend. It's another beautiful Beverly's trim. Little flowers here and there, but I didn't want to make it too bulky, and that's another reason the laces work out really well. It gives it the dimension without making it extremely bulky. So, let's see. Some more of her beautiful trims. And here's another piece. This beautiful red trim really went well with the red in her dress in there. And this little mocha color trim is very beautiful. And I love this little trim, just went it the other direction. Some more of this trim. And the beautiful guipure in the back, and I love this coral trim. So it goes to 50. So I just thought that was perfect. And I did do the back too because I wanted the whole thing to show. So on the back the extra pictures that I had, I went the same way. On this one I just took a little seam binding and scrunched it up and then sewed it on randomly. A little piece of rosette trim. So these are just taking her through her life. And now this is some more of Beverly's beautiful lace down here and this here. And this blue lace is some of the vintage trim that Beverly has in her store. So make sure you check out her store for all of these gorgeous trims. And I love this gray lace. She has this lace in several different colors and it's so pretty. Here again I used another crochet doily. And this beautiful trim, and it's run randomly the other direction. And I just had a little teeny piece of this eyelet lace from another project I did with her items, and it just was perfect for this, and I was so glad I didn't throw it away. I mean, because you can just use little pieces for this, and it's just perfect. So there's a picture of her and I. Her and I again having tea. We do a lot of traveling together, so this will be a really fun trip to Ecuador. So it'll be interesting to see how we celebrate her birthday there. So that is my little roll. I was really happy with the way it came out. And also, I'll just show you some of the laces by piece. These really thick, wide pieces worked out really well. I used this one and the cream one. They just really took up most of the room, like right there, you can see. And then here's this piece of this chain looking lace. Also wanted to mention that Beverly is opening up a store in Fremont, and her address is going to be at 37485 Niles Boulevard in Fremont, California. And all of you lucky people that live in the Bay Area, you're going to have so much fun at your fingertips. She's already got classes scheduled with some amazing artists. She's got Frank Garcia and Jody Lee scheduled for March 30th and March 31st. And Marion Smith is coming April 13th and 14th. That's amazing. And Julie Nutting is coming May 18th. And I just would love to get down for some of those classes, but I don't know if it's going to work or not. But if you're close by, I recommend you checking it out. It will be called the Piece by Piece as well. And I think she's due, I'm not sure exactly what day in March, but she's due to open. So make sure you check out her store and some of those fabulous classes. You can go right to her blog at thepiecebypiece.blogspot.com for all of the details. So just showing you all of these fabulous trims that I used. And I just used a ton of them, and it just took little pieces, little scraps, and I think that's kind of symbolic of our life. Isn't that just, it's just, our lives are just put up little scraps and pieces of different events that have happened, and so I think it just was perfect for this project. And it really shows off Beverly's beautiful, beautiful trims. So this is that mocha small trim.